Sports. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's how we roll. It's wins and losses, highs and lows. It's effort, respect, and dedication. The High School Sports Beat. Sports. It's who we are.
Hello everyone, and thank you once again for joining us on the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. We continue our look at Section 5 sports with a flashback to our first season on 13 Wham from 2013. Here's Bill Pucko and Brian Mazurowski.
Which brings us to Spencerport, where the best indoor track season sprinter, a state champion in fact, prepares to dominate outdoors too. Here's Brian Mazurowski.
Domination.
Go, Maddie!
That's what you'll see if you get the opportunity to watch Spencerport's Madeline Kopp on the track.
Back to your lanes, girls.
I run the 1, 2, and 400. My favorite is the 200, but the one I'm best at is the 400.
Kopp holds the best time across all classes in Section 5 in all 3 of those races. But that's not the only thing that makes Kopp a great runner. And track isn't just an individual sport. Kopp excels at pushing her Ranger teammates to give their best and serves as a role model at practice.
I think she works very hard to get where she is at. I know she does double practices and whatnot, so she puts in as much effort being a captain and whatnot at both, so she does a good job.
She's a hard worker. If she sees someone jogging, she would tell them pick it up, let's go. Like, she doesn't like slackers.
She's hands down one of the best teammates that anybody could have. She's a leader on and off the track. She's a leader in the classroom, and she's always there to give a helping hand to the younger generation to the Spencerport track and field. And as the younger class individuals get an opportunity to see her and what it takes to be an elite athlete, they really model themselves after her.
The mixture of top times and competition and hard work with teammates in practice gave Kopp the opportunity to choose which college she will attend next year. Not an easy choice.
And I know that she did a lot of things off the track along with working with Spencerport on the track to get noticed. And as the letters came in, we would speak with Maddie, give her options. I know the family was a huge support in helping her make her choice.
It's so hard because there's like so many different options coming to you. But once you go on the actual visit, then you really kind of know.
Her final decision? To run at Duke University.
Well, when I visited, I really got along with the team. They'll have me do the 4x4 next year, which will be fun. And the weather in North Carolina is really nice.
While Kopp may not be able to dominate in Division I the same way she does in Section 5, her coaches and teammates have no doubts that Kopp's future at Duke will be a bright one.
I think she's going to do great. Maddie's been my friend since we were little kids, so she's just got to buckle down and focus, and she'll do great.
I think she'll do a wonderful job. She's excelled here, and I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that she'll excel. And hopefully someday we'll be able to see her in the papers at the collegiate level at Division 1A at Duke.
Brian joins us now. Brian, Madeline was one of those soft-spoken athletes, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was, and I think that comes with being a track athlete at Spencerport. Talking to me, they said they like to think of their team as a big family. They like to have that family atmosphere. We think of track as an individual sport. It's all about the numbers. Well, it can be all about the team, and it's one of the reasons she said that she's wanting to go to Duke.
Yeah, it's a lot like swimming in that regard, and we think of, individual times and everything, but the teams are very tight. Thank you.
Maddie was a 5-time All-American at Duke and holds school records in the indoor and outdoor 400, the indoor 600, and in 5 relay events. She currently coaches with the Blue Devils while running professionally with Under Armour as her main sponsor. Well, coming up next, Matt Trabold joins us for the High School Notebook. We'll have that and more when the High School Sports Beat returns. Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again to the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. It's time now for the High School Notebook, and that means it is time once again for Matt Trabold to join us. Matt, thanks so much for hopping on board.
Thanks for having me on, Dave.
Hey, let's talk some football. Soccer. And let's talk about the Churchville-Chili girls. Look like they may be poised to make a move this year.
I'd have to agree with that. Churchville girls soccer hovered around 500 the last couple of seasons, coming into 2020, but the talent level is there this year for the Saints to possibly improve significantly on that. 500 winning percentage. So I think you are seeing the pieces kind of at every level going on to improve significantly, like I said a second ago, on that 500 mark. They begin the season 2-0. Combined score of 6-0. Jay Distant was a big graduation loss, but the current squad has a ton of senior power. You have the Shipley twins. Michaela's more defensive-minded as a stopper type. She distributes up into the attacking third well, and Hannah Shipley plays up top as basically a striker. One of the forwards there. Junior Skylar Donahue and Elena Reyna, great name. They highlight the midfield. Reyna scored twice in the season opener and has a soccer IQ full of situational awareness and spacing. She's a great receiver of the soccer ball and arguably has the scoring acumen of Katie Cosgrove from a few years back. She is now with Duke Lacrosse. Skylar Williams in net is springy, and good things come out of how vocal she is on the field. And captain sweeper Leah Marin will account for a number of saves herself this season, despite her not being able to use her hands. And Dave, while we're on the topic of Section 5 girls soccer, I wanted to quick mention a jaw-dropping play last Friday where Notre Dame of Batavia sophomore captain and a recent competitor on the show, American Ninja Warrior Jr., Autumn Matheson, she did a bonkers flip throw-in into the middle of the box for a goal versus Attica. Crazy.
That's insane. Always great to see stuff like that. Hey, let's stick with the soccer. Let's talk boys now. Let's talk Webster Thomas.
Yeah, so recently following the 2016 sectional final appearance, Webster Thomas has been ever so close to jumping back up into the top few teams there in boys soccer in Monroe County. Beating Spencerport a couple games ago 3-1 is evidence that they're back up there. Thomas's main six last year, if you want to say, lost a star in Cameron Webb to graduation, but the Titans still have Zach Wolf up at striker, and Isaac Buckley, Nick Harrington, Brendan Hill, and Tanner Gorin in the midfield. You need to throw a number of defenders at Wolf if you want a chance at stopping him. He routinely makes quick touches around defenders in a row for goals. Harrington is the midfield facilitator. Everything feeds through for this team. He is the Andrea Pirlo type for these Titans. Hill at wing back or on the wing in the midfield. Very versatile in that sense. Also brings a lot of touch talent to the equation. He had one play versus Gates Chile recently where he curled a pass around defender on the touchline, 30 or 40 yards down the field up ahead. It stayed in on the line, right in stride to Wolf, who scored on the play. This team is really something.
You said Pirlo. I think that sounds more like a Pogba move, but we'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. Sticking with the boys and a team that has been on top for. When you talk boys soccer around here, Greece Athena is one of the ones that's always going to come up in when you talk about the powerhouse teams.
I could not agree more. Greece Athena boys soccer, always a state powerhouse, and this season is no different, state playoffs or not. The big question coming into this 2020 year for the team was which players would take that extra step up alongside All-American Dylan Rice, as well as a couple of his other big-time veterans, Michael Tracy, Jared Burns in net. But because gone are the leading scorer in program history, Atman Belsin, and a couple other big-time seniors from last year, so far that question is most thoroughly answered by the names Gavin Rice and Ryan Fitzgerald over the offseason. Gavin Rice, younger brother of Dylan Rice, turned into a powerful, adept, reliable crosser on set pieces, powering the ball precisely far post for assists. This is an exciting team yet again.
Never gets old at Greece Athena for their boys soccer. Hey, great stuff, Matt. As always, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, we're back with more of the High School Sports Beat right after this. Coming up next, Making the Grade nominee with Kyle O'Gara, and later on, it's outdoor track under the lights in Hilton. We'll have that story when the High School Sports Beat returns.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the High School Sports Beat. I'm Kyle O'Gara. Making the grade this week is Fairport senior Paige Harmon. Paige currently plays varsity tennis and lacrosse for the Red Raiders and has been on both teams for 4 years. Paige is a Class A1 doubles champion in tennis and has earned herself a spot on the All-Greater Rochester tennis team twice. In the classroom, Paige is a member of the National Honor Society with a 96% average and has made high honor roll all 4 years of high school. Outside of school, Paige often volunteers her time through church and has been to Puerto Rico to build houses. In the fall, Paige plans to attend Furman University and hopes to continue playing lacrosse. This week, Paige Harmon is making the grade. If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. Send them into mtg@rocksportsnow.com. Now here's Dave with the Section 5 Spotlight.
Thanks, Kyle. Here are some of the athletes, teams, and coaches making news in our Section 5 Spotlight. The Holly boys soccer team improved to 5-0 with a 2-1 win over Wheatland-Chili. Senior Nate Nothnagel scored a goal and had an assist in the Hawks' win. East Rochester girls tennis also is undefeated, improving to 8-0 by beating Lions 5-0. Olivia Rashator and Zoe Zutz in first and second singles are a combined 14-3 on the year. And finally, the Pittsford Bass Fishing Club is sending 2 anglers to nationals. Rain Golub and Matthew Pitcher will represent New York State. Rain is a 2-time top 3 finisher at junior nationals and a 5-time New York State champ. Good luck to both of you in Kentucky. Up next, Section 5's best compete on the track under the lights in Hilton. Well, that story on the High School Sports Beat continues.
Came now to Eichel. He floated one. Score!
Welcome back and thanks once again for joining us on the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Again, we flash back to our 13-WHAM debut season for the Hilton Cadet Classic Invitational. From May of 2013, here's Bill Pucko.
For all it contributes to the local athletic landscape, high school track and field gets a little shorted, which is what makes the Hilton Invitational so special. Simply put, they do things differently in Hilton. The majority of those participating at the Running Cadet Classic would argue that they do things best.
This is my favorite meet of the year. It's so hyped. I like how they advertise it this year. I'm always run good here. They take care of the athletes. We don't be here all day. So I love to meet here.
The Running Cadet Classic is the track and field equivalent of a day-night doubleheader. There are events all afternoon, but the best is saved for last. Because after the sun sets, the meet's top participants are invited to perform under the lights in the Saturday Night Showdown. Philosophically, everyone's always trying to give track their fair share. This, don't you think, kind of goes a long way into making that happen?
Yeah, you got to make it stand out. You got to make it different than everything else. You got to make it exciting. Provide the environment that will make the kids perform their best.
Little Hollywood, right?
That's what we're trying to do.
They build a pole vault pit in the infield of the track, front and center. It's the featured field event. 15 vaulters took part in the showdown with a starting height of 12 feet. 11 of the starting 15 made it to 12.6. Meanwhile, events took place all around them. One of the section's truly great runners is HAC's Isabel Hirtelen-Booker. The Pittsburgh-bound senior was the girl to beat in the 100-meter hurdle showdown. Isabel outran Canandaigua's Christine Lytle in 15.02, just about a half second off her own meet record.
I'm happy with my time, but I was hoping to beat my meet record, which was a 14.9 something. Yeah. But overall, I'm happy to run, especially at this is my favorite meet, and I'm happy to run here. And this has been a great experience. I wish I could have ran twice. because I love it here.
Well, you kind of did, because like the next race you're doing the 100, so that's kind of tough.
That was the first time I've ever ran back-to-back, and I started cramping up afterwards, probably because I didn't eat enough or drink enough, and so I almost didn't run, but I was like, I'm going to run. Why wouldn't I? I'm going against like my best friend Maddie, who's the best competition out there. I was like, whatever happens, happens. If I cramp up in the meet, at least I tried.
Hirtelen-Booker took second in the 100 behind her buddy, Madeline Kopp of Spencerport. Just another day on the track for Maddie, who won the 100, 200, and set a meet record in the 400-meter runs. Like, I know you do the other two distances. Is the 100 one of your favorites?
No, it's not. I just do it as an extra. I like to have it in meets so usually I run it before the 400. So I have it like as a warm-up, sort of.
So the 100 is not really in your future?
No, I just did it today to do it.
All right. Hey, what do you think of this meet?
I like it. I like how they do the showdown thing. It's cool.
Meanwhile, back at the pole vault, Jacob Tristy of Gates-Chili was clearing the bar at 13 feet. The field of 15 was trimmed to the final 4, attempting 13.6. The hurdles were raised to accommodate the boys' 110-meter high hurdle showdown, where Northeast-Northwest prep sprinter Amir Rogers was favored. Running in the red in lane 4, Amir posted his second best time in the event and found room for improvement.
I hit a lot of hurdles, so my goal is like to clean it up. You know, fortunately, it's whatever. Still came out with a victory, so.
So it's like a matter of hurdles you're trying to keep your feet off of, right?
More hurdles you hit, the slows your momentum down. So, the cleaning the race is faster time.
How many do you think you hit?
I'd say 3, which isn't that bad, but it was the ones I needed. It was like 6, 7, and 8.
Meet records were set in both the Glavin races, run in the memory of Pete Glavin, the former McQuaid standout who died of cancer 3 years ago at the age of 47. In all, 46 different high schools were represented at the Running Cadet Classic. The boys' pole vault competition came down to junior Ryan Ellis of Gates, who finished second to a familiar foe, Canandaigua senior Sam Harding. You two guys probably see a lot of each other. What do you think of the battle?
Yeah, he's our main competition in Section 5. I love it. Keeps me going higher.
Harding gave little indication that he was on top of his game early.
I was having trouble coming in. I feel like I just wasn't running. Wasn't running right. My mark was off by a little bit, and so I just had trouble honing it in and being able to get where I was consistent.
Patience paid off as Harding soared to a meet and school record vault, 14 feet 3 inches.
.14.2 has been the record since 1977. So, I mean, we've had a couple vaulters get close to it, but it's just a fantastic feeling. I mean, it's what we've been working on for 4 decades.
What do you think of this meet, getting it out here in the infield and everybody watching you?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, any support that you can get is good support. It's fantastic to be here under the lights, middle of the field. It's a good day.
On the girls' side, Warsaw's Karen Obel broke her own Section 5 record in the pole vault, going 12 feet 7 inches, which is 7 inches better than the next best in the state this year.
We'd like to thank the athletes, teams, and coaches in Section 5. And remember, if you got a story you'd like to share with us, let us know. Send us an email to rocksportsnow@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, be safe, and we'll see you back here next week for more of the High School Sports Beat.